Hello, Miss Destiny. So, the weather looks pretty bad, so we may not come to school on Thursday. And I thought that you probably would need a little tutoring, especially after looking at what happened on lesson 79. So, I wanted to go through these with you and kind of help you solve and understand what's going on. Because you turned it in. I don't know if you turned it in and you just didn't do them, or you tried a couple and didn't get them right and you got frustrated and just said, done. I'm just turn it in. I'm done. I don't know which one it was, but either way, I wanted to help you go through these so you understand how it works really well so that you can wrap your head around these concepts. So let's start with the first problem. I'm going to just copy this over into my drawing program so that I can actually do some writing so we can see what's going on. Okay, let me get my pen. Okay, so in this problem, it says given RATA plus RPTP is 460. So that is our main problem. That's what the given is. So we have R, and then we have somebody named A. We have T. This is rate, and this is time. We have somebody A, we have somebody P. We don't know what it is. It didn't give us that information. We know that RA plus, or RATA plus RPTP is going to equal 460. So that's a distance. Because rate times time equals the distance. So the distance of this one plus the distance of this one is equal to 460. This is our little table here. So we got 4 bits of information that we need to fill out. And we're going to check our work by making sure they add up to 460. So let's start by filling in the information. So RA, we don't know what RA is, so we leave it alone. TA, it tells us, is 2. So RA times 2 plus, and it tells us RP is 50. So 50, and then it tells us TP is 4. So that's times 4. RA times TP. And I'm getting all of that from this right here, right? That's RA times TA plus RP times TP, and that equals 460. So this equals 460, okay? So we don't know what RA is, but we have all this other information so that we can find RA. So when I multiply RA times 2, that's going to be 2RA. And when I multiply 50 times 4, that's going to be 200. And that's equal to 460. Well, whatever this is, plus 200 is equal to 460. So if I take 200 away from both sides, I get RA by itself, 2RA, sorry, and I get 260. So now all I have to do is remember this is multiplication, divide both sides by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1. 1 RA is what I have on this side. And 260 divided by 2 is 130 on this side. So given all the information that we were given to start with, RP, the rate of P, is 50. The time of P was 4, right? The time of A was 2. Well, this tells me the rate of A is 130. So now we just have to multiply. Rate times time equals distance. And make sure that both of these distances added together is 460. 130 times 2 is 260. 50 times 4 is 200. If we add 260 and 200, do we get 460? Yes. So that tells me that this is the right answer. So 130 would go right here. All right, let's do the next one. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for this problem. Let me copy it over. This time we have 2 bits of information to find. So let's open it up. Okay, so RT/TT plus 200 equals RR/TR. So the rate of t times the time of t plus 200 is equal to the rate of r times the time of r. So we're going to write that out. The rate of t times the time of t. Maybe that stands for Tracy, I don't know. Plus 200 is equal to the rate of Rebecca times the time of Rebecca. All right, so RT, it tells us is 10, so we can put that in for RT. It tells us that TR is equal to TT plus 10. We don't have a value for TR or for TT, so it's just going to stay the same. Plus 200. RR, it tells us is 15, so 15. And TR is the time of t plus 10. So now we can distribute, we can do all the multiplication. 10 times the time of t is 10 times the time of t. That really didn't change. Plus 200. 15 times the time of t is 15 times the time of t. And 15 times a positive 10 is 150. So now we have something to work with. I am going to subtract 10 TT from this side and this side because this is the bigger number, and working with a positive is so much easier when you're dealing with your variable, right? So then this goes away, and I have 200 on this side, and I have 5 times the time of t plus 150 on this side. So now I want to get this by itself so I can divide. So I'm going to subtract 150 from both sides. This goes away, and this becomes 50 is equal to 5 times the time of t. So I'm going to divide by 5 on both sides, and I get 10 is equal to the time of t. So that goes here. And I know now that the time of t is 10. So 10 plus 10 equals 20. That is going to be the value of TR is 20. So that is how you would solve that. All right. It's just a little bit more substitution. And the reason we have 4 letters instead of 2 for variables is because this is rate and this is time. They perform a specific function. And that means distance, right? Distance is equal to rate times time. But if you're talking about 2 different distances, let's say we're talking about Tracy's distance and let's say we're talking about Destiny's distance. Well, if we've got 2 different distances in the problem, I need to know whose is whose, right? I can't just say RT, RT. So that is why for Destiny's distance, we would say the rate of Destiny times the time of Destiny. And for the distance of Miss Tracy, we'd say the rate of Tracy times the time of Tracy. That way we can have both of these in the same problem to compare them, but we don't get confused as to which one is which. Could we use 4 different letters? We could, but then it would be a little bit more complicated. It'd be a little bit more which one goes where, right? This links, this little letter here links that these 2 go together. So it makes a little bit of sense in that way. All right, I hope I didn't over-explain and bore you to death. Let's do the next problem. All right, so we're going to complete the table. What is RA? So we have been given all the information in a table. So I'm going to copy that over to our fancy little drawing program. Okay, so we have a very straightforward problem. The distance of A, which is rate times time, plus the distance of P, which is rate times time, is equal to 500 when you add both of them together. Rate times time equals distance. So we can put our little equal sign out here, just like that. 25 times 9 is, oh, good Lord, I don't know. It's a really big number. 225. Yes. Because 10 times 25 would be 250, and it's 25. It's one set of 25 less than that. So it has to be 225. So we have one of these already solved. We could actually take RP, TP, and not even solve for it. Just put this in here because we already know what it is. So RA, we still don't know what that is. TA is 5. And then we know this is 225. And that's equal to 500. So if I take this 225 away, then that should give me the distance of A, right? Whatever this is times 5 would equal the distance. So if I take this one away, then that should be my answer. So this would cancel. I would have 5 times the rate of A is equal to 275. Right? Because that would be 100, and that would be 4, and 4 and 100 is 500. So that should be right. All right, so I'm going to divide both sides by 5, because that's the step we do whenever we have 5 times a number, or a number times a variable equals a number. We always divide by the number we know. 275 divided by 5 is really a large number, and I am wrapping my head around it. I think it's 55. I'm going to check it and see. 275 divided by 5. Ooh, I got it right. 55. So the value of RA is 55. So if this is 55, just for funsies, we know that 5 times RA is 275 because we already did the math. So when we add these two together, we should get 500, and we do. So this is a true statement. We kept all of our numbers accurate. So you see, it's not really that complicated once you understand what those variables are standing for, right? That's what they're in there for. Rate times time of this person is this person's distance. And the rate times the time for this person is their distance. We just write it, mathematicians are lazy, so they have to write it as short as possible because they don't want to write out, the distance of so-and-so plus the distance of so-and-so is equal to 500. They want to do it short, and they want to do it with the least amount of letters because, a lot of mathematicians have really bad handwriting anyway. I'm one of them. That's what that's for. It's so we can reference specific information without having to write it all out. That's the point of a subscriptive variable. Let's do another one. All right, here's the next one. It says complete the table. Find TX and TH. So this would be TH, and this would be TX. I'm going to cross out this little doodad right here. It's a little cursor just so it doesn't confuse you. So this right here tells us that those are equal to each other. That RH times TH is equal to RX times TX. Right? So we have to find the values that give us that. So let me erase this out. Let me cover this back up. There we go. So if RH times TH is equal to RX times TX, I'm going to put in RH and TH equal to RX times TX, right? RH, TH, RX, TX, just like that. So I'm going to sub in RH is 3 and RX is 6. tx is equal to th minus 3. So I'm going to put that in. th minus 3. We don't know what th is, so it's just going to stay th. But now we can multiply everything. 3 times th is 3th. And 6 times th is 6th. And 6 times negative 3 is a negative 18. So now I can get my th's together by moving it over to the other side. So this is going to cancel. This is going to be a negative 3th. And this is negative 18. That's all that's left over here. So if I divide both sides by negative 3, then th is equal to 6. So if th is equal to 6 and tx equals th minus 3, I can put the value of th, which is 6 here, minus 3, that equals 3. So tx is equal to 6 minus 3, which is 3. And if you look, 3 times 6 is equal to 18, and 6 times 3 is equal to 18. So this is true. So we did it right. We got the right values. All right, let's look at another one. That one was not so hard. Okay, here's the next one. Again, we're going to complete the table. And we have equal distances, RF, TF. So I'm just going to write that over here. RF times TF is equal to RS times TS. So we have those values in here that we can substitute. We have no idea what RS is. Oh, yes, we do. Look at this. RS. This is equal to RS. Don't let it, when it's not in the regular order that we're used to, when this one is first, don't let that throw you for a loop. We can rewrite this and say RS is equal to RF minus 16. So we know what RS is. We don't know what RF is. So RS, let's just put that in here. It's RF minus 16. And TS is equal to 6. And TF is equal to 5. We don't know what RF is, so we just leave it alone. We put it back in there. We multiply 5RF. And then we say 6 times RF is 6RF. And 6 times negative 16 is negative 96. I'm pretty sure. Let me double check. 6 times 16. Ooh, I got it right. There we go. All right, so now all I got to do is subtract 6RF from both sides. So this is a negative 1 RF is equal to negative 96. So if I divide both sides by negative 1, RF is equal to a positive 96. So if RF is 96, right, RS is equal to 96 minus 16, which would equal 80. So now we just have to check and make sure that this distance is equal to this distance. So these should be the same. So we're just going to multiply 80 times 6 is 480. And 96 times 5 is 480. Those distances are the same. This is a true statement, so we did it right. All right, that's all we're doing. We're just checking our work whenever we figure out the distances. Remember, rate times time equals distance. So this statement right here is just saying the distance of this is equal to the distance of this. And we just figure out what those two variables on each side mean. Let's look at one more. All right, so we've got another one, complete the table. We got to find TM and TR. That's where our blanks are. So again, we have two equal distances. So let's just put those in over here. We have RM times TM is equal to RR times TR, right? So RM, TM is equal to RR times TR. So RM is equal to 8, and RR is equal to 2. TR is equal to 5 minus TM. So 5 minus TM. And we don't know what TM is, so we just put him back. 8 times TM is just 8 times TM. 2 times 5 is 10. And 2 times negative TM is a negative 2 TM. All right, I'm going to add 2 TM to both sides so that I can move it over. This would cancel. This would be 10 TM is equal to 10. Divide both sides by 10. Obviously, TM is equal to 1. So TM is 1. So that is going to be rate times time is equal to distance, right? 8 times 1 is 8. And it says here that TR is equal to 5 minus TM. TM is 1. So that's going to be 5 minus 1, which is going to equal 4. 2 times 4 is equal to 8. That makes this statement true. These distances are equal, so we did it right. Okay, let's look at the last problem. All right, so let's look at this one. We need to find TG and TB. Remember, rate times time is equal to distance. All right, and it says that the distance of G plus the distance of B is equal to 100. So when we add these two distances up, it should equal 100. So we're going to take our statement and put it over here. RG, TG plus RB, TB is equal to 100. So we have RG, TG plus RB, TB is equal to 100. So RG is 4. RB is 10. So what I'd like for you to do, let's do TB. TB is TG plus 3. TG plus 3. And we don't know what this one is, so we drop TG back in there. So now you can solve this. You can find this out. This should be pretty straightforward for you. So what I'd like for you to do is pause the video, solve this one on your own, and then press play. That way you can make sure that you understand what you're doing. I want you to see that these are just 4 little variables in pairs. There's 2 and 2. And you're just using this table to substitute information to find the missing information. It's very similar to proportions in that we use the table, but they're substitution values, not proportions. So, but the table is handy in organizing your information so that you understand what goes with what. All right, go ahead, pause the video. I'm going to quit running my mouth, and then you can solve. Okay, I'm going to assume that you paused and that you solved. So I'm going to just go through this really quickly. 4 times TG is 4TG. And this is going to be 10 times TG. And 10 times a positive 3. And that's equal to 100. I'm going to add these two together, and I'm going to subtract 30 from both sides. So that gives me 14 times TG is equal to 70. If I divide both sides by 14, TG is going to be equal to 5. So TG is equal to 5. So 4 times 5 is equal to 20. So I know that the difference between 120 is 80. So this has to be 8, right? So let's see. TB is equal to TG plus 3. If TG is 5, we add 3, we get 8. So 10 times 8 is 80. 20 plus 80 is 100. So we proved this true. That means our numbers are right. Okie dokie. I hope you're starting to see how the pattern works. Use your table on your paper. Find that, just use some graph paper if you want to, or make yourself a little, box to put rate and time for the first person and the second person, and just fill in the table. Don't forget that that equals distance. Do the calculation to make sure this matches your final numbers. You can do this. It's just substitution. It's just more than you're used to typically. Okay? So if you have any more questions or you get stuck, please ask for my help. Again, like I said, I don't know that we're going to be there on Thursday because this bad weather is moving in, and I wanted you to get this before. I didn't want you to get behind. Didn't want you to need that study time, that tutoring time, and not get it. So I've rambled enough. I want you to know that we have not even been on this lesson 30 minutes and we're done with it. You can do this. You are way too smart to just give up and not do the lesson. When it gets frustrating, just take a breath. Come back to it. Do something else. Read a book. Do some meditation. Read the Bible. Pray. It's okay to pray about math. You can ask God to help you see the answers. It's perfectly fine. I promise you, I've done it before, and He has not smited me yet. So sometimes it's beneficial to just walk away. Come back later with fresh eyes and less frustration. And give yourself some grace, okay? You are so smart. You can do this. I believe in you, and I will see you hopefully soon. Who knows what the weather's going to do? It does what it wants to do, right? God just tells it and it does it, and then we have to live with it. So maybe we'll just be making snowmen on Thursdays. Maybe we'll get to see each other. All right, I miss you, sweet girl. I hope you have a great week, and I'll see you as soon as possible. Bye for now.